Titusville Market Square joining us this morning, and there's always something going on with them. Susan, Bill, good morning. Good to see you this morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
It's not just this time of year. It's like any part of the year you can, pick a month and you'll say, hey, we've got this going on, which is fantastic. Do you plan these things ahead of time, or do you just... Okay.
Yep.
Well, there's just a lot of great things that Market Square is a part of, and when you look behind the curtain there, the wizard is usually you two running around causing all the trouble.
Great and powerful Oz.
Yes.
Right.
What's going on this weekend?
Well, this is our big Christmas weekend, fourth annual Hometown Christmas.
Wow.
So we have a lot happening at the Market Square. There's a lot happening all over Titusville this weekend. But tonight we kick it off with our annual pet or family photos. You can come in. We have a photographer there, Tisha McQuarrie, will be on site tonight. Saturday we have Santa and family photos again, 10 to noon, 2 to 4. And then we're doing a Sunday visit with Santa from 1 to 3, and family photos available at that time too.
That's fantastic.
Got some live Christmas music going on over the weekend. I guess that'll be me on the piano.
Really? The one that's sold in there? Or
Yeah, the one that's sold because I bought it. So I've left it at the store. But
that's beautiful.
So I'll do a little piano, and then we have some, it's a player piano, so we have some Christmas rolls. So I'll pedal out a little of that.
That's great. Now, Susan, I was just thinking as you were saying that, people come in and probably walk through and see something and say, boy, I should come back and get that. No, you should probably get it now because somebody right behind you is probably going to walk. Yeah.
All the time. And we do have the Salvation Army's Angel Tree. That's always a nice community service. Come in, we have children's tags on the tree to pick out, and so we're one of the locations for the Salvation Army Santa tree or Angel Tree.
Yeah, that's excellent. So people can go in and pull a tag, shop,
And speaking of the holidays, we're into eggnog season. So we have just got a fresh delivery from Pot of Gold yesterday. So that's like liquid gold. And also carry it from Marburger. So we have 2 different versions of eggnog. This is I'm learning the wonders of dry cottage cheese. I didn't know that until we started working with the Titusville Dairy. There's a product they do. It doesn't have the sauce on it, but a lot of people come in for the holidays to make pierogies. So we special order it throughout the year, but right now we're stocking it. So if you want to do your homemade pierogies, we have Titusville Dairy dry cottage cheese.
Yummy. And speaking of Christmas, we have Associated Charities. They usually come annually to our store, and they're set up right by our front door, which they have a lot of nice Christmas decor, and they've been selling a lot of it, and they kind of save it up all year, and they really sell the heck out of it at our store. And then we have many other vendors too that are like up in their booths to like the Christmas theme. So
that was cool. Just walking through last weekend, just seeing like everybody adding, the Christmas stuff, or actually what they were doing is replacing things that were bought because people were buying things off the tables and replenishing the stuff. I mean, that's how quickly things fly, and that's why if you see something that you think, boy, I really would like that, you should get it.
And you're correct. We've had many people come back. Well, I saw this last week and I came back and it's gone. So like if you see it, get it. Yeah. If you really want it. So.
Yeah, and our Small Business Saturday was phenomenal this year. It just really, really pleased. Everybody was shopping local. The whole town looked like it was bustling last Saturday.
Well, yeah, in fact, there's a lot of people I didn't even recognize. So a lot of people came in from out of town, which was great to see.
Nice.
Yeah. Bill, on your side, what do you have? Because I do want to go back, Susan, and talk about some of the other products, because there's like in the freezers and the coolers, there's a lot of products there that you guys carry.
Right, and I do have to take off in 5 minutes because I'm taking care of the little kids there at Main Street. But I wanted to talk a little bit. You're always asking me about like what's new in comic books. Well, I went to a comic convention in Baltimore in October last time we were speaking, and I actually got to meet Frank Miller. And if maybe a lot of people don't know who Frank Miller is. Frank Miller is kind of like the Stan Lee of the 70s and 80s. So what Stan Lee did for the 60s and 70s, this Frank Miller is a superstar of comic books. So I got to meet him. He's promoting a new company he just started, and it's called Frank Miller Presents. And he just put out 2 new books, Ancient Enemies and Ronin, okay? And Ronin is based on a series that very popular back in the 80s that he did. It's kind of a science fiction samurai kind of story, very popular. So he's coming out with a Ronin 2 on that. But it's a whole new company. He's teamed up with Dan Didio, who was former publisher of DC Comics. So kind of a couple big stars, and I got an autograph from him. And I got to talking to him, and I was telling him about my store here in Titusville, and because he's really loves comic book stores, and I was telling him the unique thing about our business is I have a comic book store within a market, and he was really intrigued with that, and he asked me for my card, so I gave him my card, and I thought, well, that would be cool if I could get Frank to come to the store.
Wow,
that'd be incredible.
So and beyond that, I just got to tell you this, he. Maybe people are familiar with Sin City.
Yes.
And it was a movie and starring Bruce Willis. Well, he actually wrote Sin City. It's all comic books. He helped produce and write the movie as well.
Great movie.
I was going to say his name's in a lot of credits for things.
Oh yeah, he's super big. So he's coming up with a new story called Sin City 1858. So this story is based on the crimes of the late 40s black and white film noir.
Yeah.
So he's doing a new series called Sin City 1848. So I'm putting it together a promotional package to try to get him to come to Titusville, because Titusville and Petroleum Center was known as Sin City in the 1850s.
Oh my gosh.
I wanted him to come and realize our history here, and maybe possibly kind of write a story of Sin City 1859 and beyond. So that's what it's kind of in the works. So I've piqued his interest about my store. So I think that would be just kind of a great get if I can do that. So.
Bill, comic books today, is it kind of like the music industry where, back 60s, 70s, 80s, I mean, up through, till really the boom of the internet here, you had to have a record company. Now you really don't. You can be kind of independent, and there's all sorts of things. Are you finding a lot of these artists are maintaining creative control of their products by saying, you know what, we're going to do it ourselves?
That's definitely happening. And there was a new it's always been DC Comics or Marvel, okay, and they're the 2 biggies. But yeah, starting in the '90s, Image Comics really kind of started it. It's all these very popular artists that were working for Marvel and DC decided we're not being, they're buying the books because of us. So they kind of jumped ship from the big publishers and started their own, and they're being very successful because they've spawned things like Walking Dead and all kinds of popular things. So, but they have their own creative control. So. And you know what? That's kind of an analogy to what we're doing at our store in Titusville Market Square, too, because we are doing the same thing like Image Comics. Everybody has their own individual business, but it's all under one umbrella. So everybody can do their own thing, but it's kind of like one company, but you own your own thing. So that's kind of where the comic industry is going, too.
Susan, what's your superhero power, then?
Wheater twin powers activate. I don't know.
We're the Wonder Twins. So yeah.
Instead of Wonder Twins, we say Wheater twins. So I don't know.
It's true. We're half of a great big whole that's created this business. So she's got her expertise, I got mine. We just kind of gel together.
We're actually triplets. There's a third.
Oh no!
Is it really?
Well, our silent partner is our dear brother Sam.
Sam.
There you go. Well, Bill, before you leave, in addition to comic books, there's all sorts of other really cool related products there. Action figures and
absolutely, I got
collectibles.
I got those pop figures, very popular. So I got a lot of those. We have other vendors that have very similar, like Japanese stuffed animal figures. Very popular right now. I've gotten lots of collections of comics. So I have a lot of comic books. They're $1 a piece, but they're from the 80s and 90s. But if somebody just wants to get in there and just read comics and not worry about the collectability, a lot of good stuff to read for $1 a piece in my store, where a normal comic now costs $3 to $4. So, yeah.
And I see role-playing games too.
Role-playing, yeah. We have the Magic, the Pokemon, and the Yu-Gi-Oh. So very popular. So great. You can have a $4 gift up to a $100 gift. It's just all.
Well, that's the other thing, right? Christmas is right around the corner. If you're looking for some great gift ideas
for the whole family.
For the whole family.
Look no further.
Bill, thank you
yes.
for everything.
And I want everybody to be careful around Main Street. Slow down, okay? there's kids crossing the street.
Public service
And a public,
announcement.
yeah,
Public service
that's great.
announcement.
Brought to you by Titusville Market Square this morning. Thank you,
Yes.
Bill. Thank you. You're watching the Morning Drill on Stream Television and on Armstrong's Neighborhood Channel and listening to it on the Allegheny News Talk Sports Network. Well, we still have Susan with us here this morning. Susan, you were talking about Titusville Dairy Products, Pot of Gold, and other things. Let's get to those other things because you've got quite a collection for folks looking for pretty much everything. You've
Right.
got it there.
We've got, speaking of Pot of Gold, I think I mentioned before, they have an ice cream line that's phenomenal. They probably have a dozen or more flavors of homemade ice cream. That's very popular. We have a couple meat vendors. We have Marsh Farms, that's local, so lots of local beef products. We have our famous Young's Ham Loaf. They do ham loaf and cheese blocks. Who am I forgetting? Hillside Dairy with beef sticks and their products, beef jerky. We have a candy vendor, BCE Products. He's doing all kinds of holiday candies and just trying to think. There's so many people in there.
Yeah.
Oh, and Fiestada pizzas. We got to go back to the Titusville nostalgic Fiestada pizza.
Well, but, a lot of that, though, people are coming in and seeing all the products that you have. And, this time of year, they're looking for that nostalgia, right?
Oh, yeah.
And, I mean, I think Fiestada screams
Yeah,
that.
that screams it.
But also, the local products that you carry. And when I say local, I mean, it can be, Northwest Pennsylvania is considered local. And there's just so many options folks have when they come in here on that side of it. Then on the vendor's side, as we were saying, somebody sells something and, it's being replaced with something else. So there's always something new to, you could walk in there every day and you're going to discover something different.
Exactly. Rolling into the holiday time, maybe lots of great gift ideas, jewelry, candles, home decor. Our unique Christmas, I don't want to call them creepy, but they're creepy elves that we had before that Luke
Who would
loves.
like those?
Our
Yeah.
creepy-faced people. But,
I'll
so
send you pictures, Susan.
Okay.
They're great.
yeah, they. You've got them out on your mantle this year. Okay.
He came the other day and added to our club.
Okay.
Oh,
Yes,
excellent.
Yeah.
All right. So just a lot of fun stuff. Like Bill said, with Associated Charities, once a year they come in for a couple months. Things get donated, but as Associated Charities is helping families, in need. Not that they get a lot of Christmas decor, but mostly people are into Associated Charities looking for home goods to restock homes and things. So this gives them an outlet. They sell the Christmas product through us, and that generates cash back into their program. So it's a win-win, and they have a lot of nice things on there.
Well, it didn't take long for people to realize what you were doing because so many people wanted to be a part of it. And I think at one point you're like, okay, we got to hold up a second. Let's get everybody situated. But there are people that have, like Barber's apple cider, you've had that.
Right, Barber's apple cider, and like you said, regionally, Clark's Donuts, wine. Forgot about wine for the holidays. Broken Straw Winery. So it's Bill always says we came up with a concept. We thought we'd be knocking on doors, and the vendors just keep coming to us. So we really haven't had to. We've knocked on a couple doors. I knew the wonders of the Titusville Dairy, so I knocked on their door when we started. But other than that, everybody's just come in, and it's constantly evolving. So
I would imagine the vendors get excited when they know you have these special events happening, not just a couple times a year, but a lot of time during the year. There's special events going on.
Right.
You mentioned the photographs, the holiday photos for people and pets. Like, that's really cool. Because a lot of times people are like, well, what about my pet? No, we don't do that. Well, here's an opportunity to have that done.
Right. That's become very big every year. This is the fourth year for it, but it just seems to grow a little bigger every year. So I've already gotten phone calls ahead of time of the advertising, so I think we'll see a few pets. And I'm supposed to remind my good friends, Barb and Dave Schneider, to bring their dog Whiskey in for her first Christmas photo.
Nice.
Told them I was going to give them a shout out this morning. Hope you're watching.
And, this is going on all weekend. It is Titusville's Hometown Christmas, the 4th annual Titusville Hometown Christmas. A lot to explore, not just in the business, but as you mentioned, Susan, around town. You can walk around and really take in a lot. You've got Grace Fellowship, their live nativities this weekend.
Tonight.
There's plenty of time to go through those things. Come into town, park your car, or come into town, grab something to eat, walk around, and then you can go check out the live nativity or the lights at Burgess or whatever. But there's so much to explore when you just kind of, we talk about this all the time, when you park your car in a downtown area and just get out and walk and explore.
Yep, it is nice. Just recently joined, there's a newer group, the Titusville Independent Business Alliance, and we did a promotion through November, and each gave away gift baskets, but kind of like a passport punch card. So we're getting a lot more foot traffic, but there's a lot between the Mercantile and us, and got little blessings across the street and some new shops opening on Franklin Street. It's nice to get out on foot and walk around, and the started about 4 years ago, the program with the trees in Scheide Park. That's really grown. The first year, that was my last year at the chamber, I think we had 8 or 10 trees, and I think somebody said there might be 33 to 35 trees this year in the park. Wow. So it's just fun to walk through Scheide Park and see the lights and stroll about town. So.
Well, make sure you stroll into Titusville Market Square and see what's going on. What are the hours this month?
This weekend, we're going to start doing some later weekend hours, but normally we're Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. I think we're going to go to 7 p.m. on Friday nights starting tonight. Saturdays, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., and then we do a short day on Sunday, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m.
And it's great because you're not closing at 4 or 5. I mean, people coming back into town from work, or if they're if they get out of work at 5, they can still stop by, do some shopping, or grab the milk or whatever stuff for dinner, fiestadas,
Yes.
take them home. So the hours are perfect in that regard. If you're looking for these great gift ideas, and people talk about every year, Susan, right? We want something different. Everybody's tired of this. Well, I think the last couple of years, people have really looked for that more personalized gift, that gift that nobody else really has. Right. Well, you're that perfect location where they're going to be able to find those gift ideas.
I think we are where I lost track of the count. We're somewhere over 120 different vendors within the store. So there really is something for everybody. Bill's loving it. He was there first as just the bookstore, and like he said, the family's coming in and the comic book person is looking and they're dragging him out. Now the rest of the family's shopping throughout the store while the comic book buff is in, can take their time and shop their comics. So
is that a big undertaking for you? Because the nice thing about that is when you say that, people should know that if they go in and they buy something and that vendor's not there, it's not like they have to wait or, they can buy that item right then. You guys are there to check them out.
Right. It's all under, like Bill said, it's all under one umbrella. Our staff, it doesn't matter which vendor it's from. It's all just rung through one register. So we make it very easy. The vendors love it because lots of times, people have, it's kind of their vendor booth is like a second job. They don't have to worry about it. We take care of the customer service and the sales, and they keep their booths supplied. So it's a win-win.
How much input do you have? Do you suggest things to vendors? Do you say, hey, this is the weekend we're going to have, we want to launch our Christmas stuff, so if you have that stuff, bring it out?
We alert them, ahead of time to the, whatever the event is, so they can kind of tailor their booth to what's happening. Sometimes if they know it's like an anniversary weekend or a holiday, some of the vendors might be on site just because they know we'll be busier and they can, talk directly with people, about their products. Do
you have any room left in that building?
We do. We keep talking about that second floor. We have the second floor to expand if we get too full. But it seems like most of the people work for us. Sometimes it doesn't work out, but it's a good way to test and try a new business. And we always seem to fit everybody in. So we haven't turned anybody away yet.
Yeah, well, there's a lot to look at, and you can spend quite a bit of time just walking through. And again, you go in there today, and then tomorrow it's going to be different So, stop in and see what's going on. Before we recap this weekend, anything else?
I think that's it. We're just gearing up for Hometown Christmas weekend.
And you're performing tonight.
on the piano.
That's really cool, though. So stop in. What time are you singing?
Singing.
Are you just
Well,
gonna be playing?
I do that. I'm a karaoke buff, but 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock for some live music. I'm gonna play throughout, depending on how the flow of traffic is with photos and pets. So, and then tomorrow, Saturday afternoon, we'll have some music flowing.
That's great. Recap those hours this weekend then.
Okay, so today's Friday, so it's 8 a.m. until 7 p.m. tonight, with holiday photos and pets between 5 and 7. Saturday's 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and on Sunday 11 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Susan, thank you.
Thanks.
All right,
you.
enjoy.